שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד. Page 128. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We welcome those of you that are joining us in the sanctuary and those of you that are joining us at your homes right now through social media. The magic of today. And it's so nice to be in our sanctuary on this beautiful Shabbat evening with all of you. And remind you that our prayer book opens from right to left. If you see two pagination systems, use the blue bracketed page numbers. And with that, Cantor, I think we should light some candles. What do you think? You in? I thought you would be. Page 120, 121, we continue the lighting of the Shabbat candles. I'd like to call upon Nancy Gersten and Cheryl McGatt to lead us. 120, 121.
Oh, hello. Ready? As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you,
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Now Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe wave at someone near you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 130. Page 138, we continue with Lecha Dodi, a special one from Jerusalem, from a congregation called Kohan Neshama. Page 142, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
We continue with our Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 146. We invite you, if you're able to, either physically or spiritually, to please rise.
La
Page 149, we join together on the bottom of that page. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is an hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 150.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, shofeinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatecha Al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
As we turn to page 152, 153, I invite us to take a deep cleansing breath in, exhaling out.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta on page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha beveitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kiroshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day, and press them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. We continue responsibly on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there's one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work.
Ya baba bim diddy bam, ya baba bim bam, ya baba bim diddy bam, ya baba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya baba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya baba bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar kodesh. Adonai et Yaakov, ugealo miad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Page 161. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporesh sukat shalom aleinu, va'kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim.
ביתנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמרו בני ישראל
162.
את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
We continue now with our Amidah on pages 164, 166, and 168. Please rise if you are able, either physically or in spirit.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, U'Mevi Geula Lifnei B'neihem, Le'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, B'chayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Ma'ashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, B'chayei hakol berachamim rabim, Tzomech noflim v'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato lishenei afar, V'chamocha b'gevurot, U'mito melach, Melech memit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Page 171. We join together. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, How filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Please be seated. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answers to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha be'ira na'avod. Page 177. On the top of the page, we join together.
There's a song. Go for it.
Oh, cool. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lached na'eh lehodot.
Modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, modim אנחנו לך. Modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, modim אנחנו לך. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life. Wonder, wonder beyond words. For the awareness of soul, our light within. For the world around us so filled with beauty. modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, modim אנחנו לך. For the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us, for all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot, modim אנחנו לך. modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך.
That's a beautiful modim. And there's something really interesting about this modim. Sally Neff wrote the music, but the arranger is someone that I worked with in my first pulpit, Dr. Alan Mason, who he actually plays for the biennial every couple of years. He's the guy who plays the piano and leads it a lot. And he's a wonderful man. I loved working with him. So it's so funny, of all things. Now, the reason why we chose Modim, well, if you take a look on page 176, you'll see that's Modim. That's one of the prayers that we pray, not just on Shabbat, my friends. This prayer is prayed 3 times a day traditionally. And on Shabbat, it's prayed actually an additional time on Shabbat itself, or in Chagim, or in holidays. And what I love about it, if you take a look at the word itself, Modim, but if you look all the way to the right in the Hebrew, and you could do it on the English also, you'll see what they do in this prayer book, which I really like. It highlights the prayer that you're on that page. So take a look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, you'll see Hoda'ah. That means thanksgiving. Hoda'ah, gratitude. In fact, a turkey is Tarnogol Hodu. I want you all to say Tarnogol Hodu. Say it, come on. Tarnogol Hodu. You can all say that Thursday. You've just added a Jewish dimension to your Thanksgiving celebration.
Hodu lahodu.
Yeah, Hodu to Hodu, exactly. Exactly. You could just say, please pass the Tarnogol Hodu. And I'm sure your family would really appreciate that. Yeah. But I think on the Shabbat before Thanksgiving, and I love Thanksgiving, I love it because I think we need to have gratitude. We need to have a sense of thankfulness in our lives. I don't love it from the storyline, to tell you the truth, but I love the meaning of Thanksgiving for us. And I hope you'll join us actually this Sunday night. Cantor and I will be participating in Interfaith Thanksgiving at Stone Church with lots of good colleagues. But this is really a time for us, I think, as we head into silent reflection, to really start getting our headspace into that thankfulness, gratitude space. That's where we need to be. Especially now, with everything going on, we need to stop kvetching about the fact that we have to wear these masks, which is really bothersome, and stop kvetching that we can't do the things that we really would want to do, because in the end, we are so blessed to live in a time that we can have an amazing vaccine and done in a very short period of time, and that we have so much connection, even when we're not physically together because of social media and other amazing technology. So we are really blessed. And I personally feel incredibly blessed to be with you on this evening. Many of us have, maybe we took it for granted, our Shabbat services, but now that we're back, it's really kind of nice just to be in each other's space. So I invite us to take a deep breath in, feeling that sense of Hodu within us, that sense of gratitude and thankfulness as we pause in silent reflection. We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Sal Hernandez, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Ivan Aronson, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sandy Beinstock, W.L. Bradley, Barry Brown, Brenda Boucher, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Ed Kahn, Chu Chi, Sandra Cohen, Bunny Fisher, Joan Fox, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Fiedman, Holly Fugit, Marcia Geezer, Marina Gaffney, Sharon Jenkin, Mandy Gillis, Harry Glaze, Charlene Griffin, Ted Guglin, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Jesse Jessen, Jenny Johnson, Mimi Jones, Melissa Katz, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Liatzvia Batliba Elchanan, Shirley Lerner, Carol Lesage, Litia Leos, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Karen Mack, Sid Melbourne, Vivian Cooper Moore, Gunther Myberg, Brad Parkins, Gabrielle Pollock, Stephanie Rasmussen, David Rice, Carol Ross, Linda Rogers, Dolores Sams Hoy, Valerie Sains, Rochelle Safe, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Malachi Sarensen, Donna Shine, Donna Thyman, Pham Tai Trang, Gina Thrower, Teresa Walsh, Jenny Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, Brandon Yarkin, Madison Zales, and everyone who is suffering from coronavirus. I invite you, if you wish to add another name, to please raise your hand. When I call upon you, call out that name. Thank you. We wish upon all those we mentioned and those who remain unnamed, refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery, as we join together praying for their better health, as we continue with Misha Berach by Lisa Levine.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
So this week's Torah portion, Vayishlach, and you may think as a rabbi I say this every week, is in fact my favorite portion of the year. When I was in rabbinic school, actually before I was in rabbinic school, at my interview, I was asked, so Dana, what is your favorite story of the Torah and why? Pretty standard rabbinic question, I guess, in rabbinic school. And I actually mentioned this portion. It's the portion where Jacob wrestles with this Ish. And Ish in Hebrew means man, but it could be subconscious, could be his brother, could be God, an angel, who knows what's going on. But from this experience, Jacob's name is changed. And it's interesting because Jacob's name, Yaakov, means heel. So he moves from being a heel to being Yisrael, because he struggles with this Ish and he arises as Israel. And although he gets permanently hurt in his leg, he kind of grabs this Ish and says, I overcame you, I want you to bless me. He demands a blessing, and that's why he gets his name, Israel. What does Israel mean? One who wrestles or struggles with El, with God. For me, that would be the definition of what it is to be a Jew or be a Reformed Jew at the very least, which is that, and this is why we'll never be the popular majority religion. What do we offer? Struggle and wrestling, not easy answers to difficult questions, because that would be disingenuous. I would love to say to all of you, you believe ABC, you go to heaven, it's all good later. Done. Just don't buy it. This portion, to me, is so powerful because what it does is it says that we are in control ourselves. We are the ones that have the opportunity to truly struggle and wrestle with our ideas. And the beautiful thing is, there's no one definition of God. As we say in our Bar and Bat Mitzvah class, you can believe up to one God. Because the reality is we have a high percentage of us as Reformed Jews that don't buy into this theistic, absolute, big daddy in the sky deity. We have other ideas. God's a process in nature. God started the Big Bang and said later. God's that spiritual energy we all are connected to. God's the energy of the sefirot that go through our body, as Kabbalah talks about in our Jewish mystical tradition. It is amazing how many cool beliefs we have as a people available to us. So the struggle and the wrestling is real. Jacob got it. I wonder if we get it. It's interesting when one is a child. I remember being 5, 6 years old, and you have that kind of idea that God is this big daddy in the sky, kind of like a Santa Claus looking dude. If we maintain that belief as teenagers, guess what happens? Later, by synagogue, by church, by religion, because for a lot of us, when we're at that age, that doesn't work. Because we're trying to understand, we're trying to wrestle with the great questions of existence. There can't be easy answers to that. And the cool thing is, nor should there be. I would suggest that it's in the struggle where we find the most meaning. It's not in having the answer. It's never been about having the answer. Like we tell our Bar and Bat Mitzvah kids, going back to them, it's not about that day of Bar and Bat Mitzvah. It's the whole journey that led you to that moment. Jacob is a shmagegi of a person. He manipulates his brother to get the birth right. He then, with his mom, manipulates his dad to get the birth blessing. And he becomes the father of the Jewish people? What? He has to struggle. He has to go through something in order to be Israel, the father of the Jewish people in the end. And that's what this moment is for him. This moment, I really believe this, because what happens earlier in the portion and in last week is that he's prepping to see his brother Esau after, we're talking about decades of not seeing him. They've been estranged. And he's scared that when they're going to connect, Esau's going to kill him. So he sends all these goodies, all these wonderful things. He sends them those fruits dipped in chocolate and all kinds of things, I think. He sends them all that stuff. Yeah, right. He sends all that stuff to Pat because he's so scared and so nervous. Why is he scared and nervous? Because he accepts his responsibility for what he did. That's what the wrestling moment is. That's why he had the dream last portion also. Because in order for him to do what he needs to do, he has to accept his reality. He has to take responsibility for his actions. And he does that. And by doing that, he arises as Israel. And very worthy of being the father of the Jewish people, having 13 kids. That's right, Dina counts. But more importantly, what a message for us. It doesn't matter how old we are or what stage of our lives or where we're at. We're afforded an amazing opportunity right now. And that's to wrestle, to struggle with our ideas. Not to have the answer, but where am I at right now? What has my life experiences helped me to understand about God today? So is, to me, a true patriarch. Yes, he's a shmagegi in his life, but he takes responsibility for being a shmagegi. And then he becomes a mensch. And he works hard for his wife's hand in marriage. That's a whole other story from last week. We don't have to get into that now. But there's a lot to this Jacob. So I invite you to think about your inner Jacob this Shabbat, your inner Yaakov, or is it Yisrael? For he's not a heel anymore, he's Israel. And with that, I say, Amen. And I know you all have been waiting for the most important part of the day, and that's the announcements from the one and only Alana Smith.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Lana Smith, and on behalf of Temple Emanu-El's Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Erev Shabbat service. Tomorrow morning, you're invited to join the Shabbat Minyan for B'nai Mitzvah students and parents at 9 a.m. in the BFR. On Sunday, join Rabbi Magat for our bi-weekly Musar class at 10 a.m. on Zoom. On Sunday evening at 6 p.m., please join us in person at Stone Church for the 7th Annual Interfaith Thanksgiving Service. RSVP to reserve a seat or to receive a Zoom link. On Tuesday, enjoy Sisterhood's Bingo Night with a Jewish movies theme at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Next Friday, our Ritual Committee will be leading our in-person Kabbalat Shabbat service here at 6:30 p.m. Then Hanukkah begins next Sunday, November 28th, and I'm not ready. The JFS Embrace a Family dreidel boards are up virtually this year. Just click on the QR code on our lobby poster or online and purchase a holiday gift wish for a person in need. JFS will do all the legwork. On the fun side, don't miss Latkes and Laughs on December 5th. Tickets available online. Our annual campaign is continuing through December. We hope you'll be able to participate so that we can continue to bring wonderful in-person and Zoom events to you. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom and a meaningful Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble.
Trying to go hold it. We continue with the lane on page 586. If you're able, please rise, either physically or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shehu notei shamayim v'yoser haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim v'mal, u'shchinatu zo b'govhei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
It is our minhag, our custom, when we come to the names before we do Mourner's Kaddish, to rise as a sign of your love and grief for that person, and to remain standing till the names in our yahrzeit list have been recited. Then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we think of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Len Pomerantz. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first-year mourning for Leon Averick, Robert Baker, Pauline Anderson Berkowitz, Carol Bitter, Hy Birdman, Phyllis Birdman, Mary Cage, Roy Robert Creech, Alexander Cunningham, Bill Davenport, Norman Deshotsky, Carol Everett, Alan Garshon, Lubov Katsis, Richard Gersten, Charles Green, former president of our congregation, Phil Hammer, Judy Fisher Harrington, Selma Karcham, Janet Katz, Kevin Krieger, Hal Lax, Father Bill Leninger, Marion Suni Levin, Michael Meltzer, Manny Migdal, Roberta Stivelman Newman, Patricia Roscoe, Richard Peterson, former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell, Arlene Ravel, David Reiser, Steve Reese, Stanley Rosen, Steve Rosenthal, Betty Rossman, Jane Sargent, Rosalind Schwartz, Boris Supak, Marilyn Siller, Kit Snyder, Gunther Vogler, Mary Weisblatt, Henry Wild Sr., Millie Wolfson, Laura Zipper. We also think of the following yard sites we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Esther Bessner, George Brockman, Eli Delman, Lenore Edwards, Arcady Elbert, Bess Ellis, Max Emanuel, Hyman M. Farber, Sheila Federman, Saul Feynman, Elliot Foxman, Sadie Garbarillowitz, Dorothy Galen, Clara Gluckman, Lena Gordon, Max L. Gordon, Stanley Green, Gusuela Guin, Sarah Lee Halprin, Leslie Henry, former president of our congregation and head of my search committee, Dr. Bob Hirsch, Betty Hoffman, Joyce Jackman, Ralph Jacobs, Joel Strauss, Jacob Cadis, Barbara Kern, Haiti Bloom Lewis, Howard Lubarski, Rose Marcus, Isidore Meyerson, Betty Myers, Minnie Nathan, Alicia Papo, Sarah Papo, Joan Penner, Dick Powell, Harold Rosenberg, Rose Silen, Irene Silverman, Sophie Siemens, Craig Singer, Marty Skaggs, Irving Sokolow, Ben Sokolek, Alice Sternberg, Martha Titleman, Frank Warner, Sylvia Watson, Saul Edward Weinstein, Cyril Weiss, Blanche Swern. Zichronam livracha, may all of the memories of our loved ones endures blessings as we now rise, turning to page 598 to recite together our Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba, ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol be'Israel, b'agalav uzman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei alamaya, yitbarach v'kishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha b'rechu, le'olam minkor berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran belma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo Rabba meshamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'akol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, as we say together, Amen. Please be seated.
And we'll conclude on page 625 with Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa b'chefetzo kol azai melech shemo nikra azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiflot hakol levad Tifara, behu yeh betifara, behu echad bein בצור חברי בצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אפקיד רוחי, ועת תישן בעירה, ואם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא, אדוני לי ולא אירא.
Shabbat Shalom. So this is what we're going to do tonight for Oneg. You ready? We're going to do what we used to do. We're going to go in the temple house and have an Oneg. Come join us. We'll see you there.